The Nectar of Grace, Chapter 1, The Divine Will. The meditating tapasvin, the pious devotee, and the worshipping laity are familiar examples of humanity's efforts to reach God. The world knows of the tremendous efforts involved in man trying to reach the divine. But there is another side to that coin which not many know of. The divine is also eager to meet man and interferes in human lives 1,000 or more times and vainly tries to awaken the sleeping soul. When the soul does not respond, the divine too gets disappointed and waits indefinitely with his heart heavy with longing. Man is unaware of this divine gesture. If man stops for a moment and recognizes this divine attempt to come near him, this is an honor he does to God. He who chooses God has already been chosen by God. Because the divine has already chosen us, we are now able to seek him. This is a truth man has forgotten. It is a fine moment in creation when man comes to know of the divine's will. It is a moment that helps fulfill basic aims of creation. Children who gather in groups and want to play present a happy picture. When they divide into two teams and play hide and seek, it becomes a lot more exciting. When one child discovers another who is hiding, shouts of joy will fill the air. These same children may find it difficult to experience the same joy later in their lives. This we call children's play. In the same way, the divine converts a portion of himself into innumerable souls and tells them to go and hide in the dark, while he would try to find them out. This is how he began his creation. When each and every soul encases itself in a body and lives a life environed by falsehood, the divine invariably comes after them and sends out feelers indefinitely. Normally, these feelers are never received. Nevertheless, the divine silently performs countless miracles and announces his presence. Those who benefit by his miracles forget him the next minute and mind their own lives. God's disappointment knows no bounds. When God envelops man with his love and purifies his life, man only tries to immerse himself more in his ordinary pursuits. He does not hear the approaching footsteps of God. When a devotee overcomes such limitation and thinks of God, the divine will appear in his mind as an image. If the devotee then calls for God, the divine will enter his being in a flood of grace. The devotee will find himself immersed in peace and illumined with light. His being will be filled by bliss and his body will be invigorated by the touch of delight. God does not withdraw from the man who has responded to him. He will stay with the man and always be in his atmosphere. That is what we call divine play. Once the chief of gods, Indra, became alarmed by the power of Rishi's penance and sent an Apsara, a divine maid, to disturb his meditation. The Rishi saw her while returning from the river bank after completing his Sandhya Vandanam. He became enamored of her and spent 900 years in her company. Then one day he recovered and told the Apsara that he would like to go to the river bank for performing Sandhya Vandanam. The Apsara asked him how he remembered something he had not thought of for 900 years. Then only it struck him that 900 years had passed away for him like a moment. This is the result of a desire arising in a man's heart which had been purified by penance. But the divine love is willing to wait indefinitely for the human response. When a human being seeks the divine, it becomes an occasion fit to be celebrated with a shower of flowers from the heavens. It is a victory for God. If he does not get that victory, God himself descends on earth by taking an incarnation. He works on the lives of men subtly, silently, showers his grace on them, and waits for them to turn to him. Normally, nobody comes after him. Once in 1,000 years, an event occurs similar to the coming of Swami Vivekananda to Saint Ramakrishna. The latter once told the former that if he did not see him, he felt like wringing his heart just as one would wring a wet towel. God crosses human lives in many different ways. He presents himself as an avatar, guru, friend, mother, child, or teacher. The divine's call to man is like an undying flame. The human hunger for the divine and the divine seeking man are complementary. Together, they form the first step towards bringing about the next evolutionary stage. Purna Yoga begins here and ends with the supramental world. Man calling the divine is like a jet of elixir from the fountain of Amrita. The divine looking for man and coming after him is like a jet of elixir colored with grace.